He has his moments where he breaks down and he tells me he feels harassed. He tells me he doesn't feel safe.
A mother describing the aftermath after her son was handcuffed and briefly detained by federal agents outside Arleta High School. NBC4 first told you about this story on Monday when that 15-year-old boy was caught up in a case of mistaken identity. Our Lolita Lopez just spoke with the mom and her son. She joins us live outside the school where this all happened. Lolita.
Yeah, Colleen say they were actually parked right here along the mother saying that she was bringing her daughter, trying to enroll her here at Arleta High School, and brought her son along. He's a 15-year-old with special needs, and then suddenly mother and son were surrounded by a group of men.
Somebody approached me, another person approached him, pointing a gun and a taser.
Adriana Mejia describes the moment she and her son were at Arleta High School Monday morning when a group of masked men surrounded them. This is video courtesy of the San Fernando Valley Sun, El Sol community newspaper, showing a truck pulled behind the family's car and Border Patrol agents detaining her 15-year-old son. Mother and son asked us not to show their faces, saying they're still affected by what happened.
He has his moments where he breaks down and he tells me he feels harassed. He tells me he doesn't feel safe.
They handcuffed me and they were just telling me who the person is, and I was like, no, I don't know who that person is.
15-year-old Valdemar Gutierrez, who has a hearing condition and speech delay, says the men kept asking him about a person they were looking for, and he kept saying,
no, that was not me.
They showed me the picture. I'm like, that's not my son.
Mejia says her son repeated his name and told the men he was a U.S. citizen. She explains the federal agents realized their mistake and removed her son from handcuffs, and says one of the men told them this.
He was like, oh, we confused you with somebody else, but look at the bright side. You're going to have an exciting story to tell your friends when you go back to school. What's exciting about getting guns pointed at you?
The Department of Homeland Security said in a statement on its social media that Border Patrol was not targeting the high school and that they were conducting an operation looking for a Salvadorian national suspected of criminal convictions with ties with the group MS-13.
They could have asked for identification before them doing all of that, but they first did all of that, then they tried to ask him for, oh, who are you?
The Los Angeles Unified School District Superintendent called the incident unacceptable and discussed new practices starting on the first day of school. They include the addition of safe zones around about 100 schools, increasing patrols by school police and the LAPD to alert of any potential immigration operations. Mejia says she knows school is a must for her kids, but is afraid to let them leave the house.
I feel that no individual should leave their house thinking, I don't feel safe.
Yeah, Mejia says she got a call from the district superintendent just today offering support and any assistance. In Arleta, Lolita Lopez, NBC4 News.
Today was the first day of a new school year in Los Angeles, the nation's second largest school system. It has more than 500,000 students in a county where more than a third of the residents are immigrants. This year, Carter Evans reports, teachers are keeping an eye out for potential ICE raids.
As students headed back to school across Los Angeles, little about this first day felt normal. School officials, teachers, and community groups are setting up the so-called safe zones in heavily Latino neighborhoods focused on high schools where students walk to campus.
For us as educators, we are the front line.
Alice Strangelove is a physics teacher at Hollywood High, one of those safe zones. Today, her lesson plan included being on the lookout.
What are they looking for?
They're looking for unmarked cars. They want to make sure that our students are not being accosted, and they just want to provide a safe pathway.
Earlier this week, federal agents detained a 15-year-old special needs student at gunpoint outside an LA high school where his sister was registering for classes. He was quickly released, but it's one reason LA Superintendent Alberto Carvalho called for volunteers and school employees to protect students.
Are you concerned that there could potentially be a confrontation in the streets between school employees, school police, and ICE?
That should never be the case. Our individuals have been trained on protocol steps to take. None of those steps include direct interference with legal proceedings or raid activities.
So they can't stop it?
We cannot stop it. It is illegal for us to stop it.
Sam Devladian is principal at Hollywood High.
I cannot imagine coming to work every day, worrying about, ICE agents showing up at your doorsteps. It puts fear in the students, and it puts fear on us.
We checked with the school district to see how many times federal agents have actually tried to enter LA schools. It's happened twice. both times at elementary schools.
Carter Evans in Los Angeles, thank you.
More than 500,000 students are back to class today as schools around the country begin to grapple again with the fear of immigration enforcement.
And it comes as federal agents detained a 15-year-old boy with disabilities outside of a California high school in a case of mistaken identity. Brian Abel joins us now with how school districts are preparing staff and students. Good afternoon, Brian.
Good afternoon to you, Brenda and Joe. This concern, this fear, really, it extends well beyond the Los Angeles, California area for teachers and staff. Really anywhere that has seen enhanced immigration efforts, and teachers' unions and organizations are now arming school districts with knowledge and resources to help keep their students safe.
For teachers, staff, and students in Los Angeles, the start of this school year is different. Educators say they're having to create safe passage plans for students to protect them from potential immigration enforcement actions by ICE agents.
I'm going to be out on the street right outside the school, making sure that students can get there safely.
The fear from LA area school staff exacerbated the week classes began when the superintendent said a teenage boy with disabilities was pulled from a car and handcuffed outside a high school. Some agents drawing their guns during the incident that ICE says was a case of mistaken identity. The fear extends well beyond Southern California, though.
Especially the Latino communities, the immigrant communities, because of what we've seen, since this administration took over.
Last school year, the Trump administration rescinded a long-standing sensitive locations policy that limited ICE's actions at schools, churches, and hospitals, leading to ICE raids at campuses across the country. Now, teachers' unions are training educators to support students and families, focusing on legal rights and safety protocols. All of this adding another layer to the burden of teachers.
Educators will protect students, whether it's against a gunman or a false arrest or kidnapping.
And there's another concern in all of this, and that's attendance. Some districts worry that parents may not feel it's safe for them to drop their kids off at school. And we've already seen that play out in Los Angeles today as some drop-offs were missed, guys.
Well, Brian, really quickly here, what about the school districts, with limited resources? How are they handling student safety?
Yeah, this is where they're really turning to the community. So parents, neighbors, neighborhoods, and areas around schools, hoping that they'll create some sort of communication network. So if federal agents are in the area, there's an alert that goes out, but also working with families so that students know what to do if they come home and nobody's home because their loved ones have been placed in custody. Guys?
Brian Abel reporting live for us this afternoon. Brian, thank you so much for your time.
LA Unified School District announcing new measures to protect its immigrant students. Federal agents detained a special needs at gunpoint yesterday. KTLA's Annie Rose Ramos is live this morning with more. Annie Rose, good morning to you.
Hey, Megan. Good morning to you. Yeah, that's right. That 15-year-old student was inside of a car with his grandmother as their relative was right here inside the school registering for classes yesterday morning. That is when agents surrounded that car, handcuffing the 15-year-old who has severe disabilities. All of this done at gunpoint.
This young man was placed in handcuffs, presumably based on mistaken identity. He was not an adult. He's a 15-year-old boy with significant disabilities. This cannot happen.
Social media video capturing the moment those agents surrounded the family's car outside Arleta High Monday morning, then seen using handcuffs to detain the 15-year-old who is a student at nearby San Fernando High. Now, according to LAUSD, he was released due to a, quote, alleged case of mistaken identity.
I was very upset because our kids shouldn't have to be going through this and being scared of coming to school, or their parents dropping them off. We shouldn't be going through this. They shouldn't be coming around the schools and having to do this around the schools. They can do it anywhere else, but leave the schools alone.
Now, Alita High was holding registration yesterday ahead of the first day of their classes. That first day is this Thursday. And parents receiving this voice message from the principal informing them of the incident with immigration officers outside campus.
We are aware of reports of immigration enforcement activity in the area near our campus. Our school has not been contacted by any federal agency.
These actions should not be taking place around schools. Bullets on the ground, what else do we need? Beyond the trauma, what else do we need? Mistaken identity. How about encounters with children with profound disabilities who are non-communicative? Have we thought about that?
During a back-to-school press conference yesterday, Carvalho and Mayor Karen Bass were there addressing immigration fears, promising to keep kids in local schools safe. The district now planning new bus routes and safe zones for students, even setting up a virtual option for those too scared to leave their homes.
And we are gathered here today to talk about protecting our children from the federal government. That is a profound moment. The fact that we even need to have a press conference to talk about strategies for how we protect our kids.
Now, you might have heard Superintendent Carvalho mention those bullets left behind. Want to go into that a little bit more. That is because, according to him, agents left behind bullets right here on the sidewalk during that detainment of the 15-year-old yesterday. He says that school police came out and later collected all of that ammunition. Now, as far as all of these details from yesterday, we have also reached out to DHS in order to confirm or deny exactly what happened here on behalf of their agents. We have yet to hear back. Reporting live, I'll send it back to you guys.
Border Patrol agents raid Arleta High School this morning, taking a 15-year-old boy with special needs into custody at gunpoint, only to realize it was a mistake. The raid has prompted officials with the LA Unified School District to announce new measures to ensure students can travel to and from campus safely.
Carlos Salcedo is live in Arleta with the latest on the raid and reaction from parents and other students. Carlos?
Michael Sherry, good evening. This immigration enforcement operation happened on the sidewalk right outside the high school. Students were here for orientation when they see a handful of Border Patrol agents. The armed agents even dropped bullets here on the ground. And tonight, as you can imagine, parents and school district officials are calling the actions unacceptable and careless. This is video of Border Patrol agents surrounding a vehicle outside Arleta High School Monday morning. Agents are seen detaining a 15-year-old student with disabilities as his grandma was inside the car while a relative was registering for classes at the school. The teen, who goes to nearby San Fernando High, was later released on the grounds of mistaken identity.
I was very upset because our kids shouldn't have to be going through this and being scared of coming to school, or their parents dropping them off.
Soon after, parents like Yvonne received this voice message from the principal informing them of the incident.
We are aware of reports of immigration enforcement activity in the area.
Many parents we spoke with call the presence of federal agents near public school campuses shameful.
The government, our administration had stated that they were going to go after criminals. At a school, what criminals are you going to find kids trying to enroll?
That is disturbing, it is heartbreaking, it is reprehensible.
LAUSD Superintendent Alberto Carvalho addressed the matter during a back-to-school press conference with other school and city leaders.
This young man was placed in handcuffs, presumably based on mistaken identity.
Ahead of the start of the school year, the district has been in touch with 10,000 families potentially impacted by immigration enforcement efforts. They've rerouted bus stops, deployed 1,000 central office staff to assist in school zones, and have virtual options available for those too scared to leave their homes.
And we are gathered here today to talk about protecting our children from the federal government. That is a profound moment.
While the district promises there are safety measures in place, some parents fear that their children will be a target simply because of the color of their skin regardless of immigration status.
He fits that category, where he's like a little bit on the darker side, and I feel like that's who they're attacking.
Now, we reached out to the Department of Homeland Security multiple times regarding this case of mistaken identity. We never heard back. LAUSD goes back in session this Thursday. Reporting live, Carlos Salcedo, KTLA 5 News.
Today, the first day of school for hundreds of thousands of students in the Los Angeles Unified School District.
KTLA's Carlos Herrera live in Gardena with more. Carlos, good morning.
Good morning. A big day. 540,000 students heading back to school this morning. We know it's a joyful day, an exciting day for them, and of course for the LAUSD as well. For many of these students, their day starts here, their school year starts here, inside of a school bus. Let's honk the horn! Yeah! We excited?
We're excited!
We're excited?
Yes,
We're excited.
Sir.
You excited, sir?
Yeah.
You ready to spread some joy?
Yes, we are.
We know it's a big day for the students heading back to school today. Unfortunately, though, we know that there is a lot of worry out there, a lot of concern with those immigration raids going on. We'll start with that and get into some video here because new this year, we know the LAUSD is starting a new service, prioritizing those services to parents and their kids that are afraid of walking or driving their child to school due to the being targeted by immigration officials. So we know that there are a lot of questions looming surrounding student attendance. On Monday, we know a 15-year-old student with disabilities was detained by immigration officials in what was described as a case of mistaken identity. LAUSD Superintendent Alberto Carvalho addressing that situation during a news conference Tuesday. He said that raids and people being detained can be traumatic for students.
I did not find it acceptable as a father that a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 5 or 6-year-old, or a 15-year-old would have to witness as they walk to school or as they are taken to school images of individuals with masks and uniforms, with long guns in hand, visuals that are shocking to adults.
His message to parents: trust the LAUSD. He says it's ramped up efforts to protect students and their families, taking steps such as distributing pamphlets like this one to families who will have the option to change bus routes if needed. About 300 families already taking advantage of that service. The packet also including information on rights, resources, and how to update emergency contacts. Families reluctant to leave their homes will also have the option to have their children learn virtually, as they did during the COVID-19 pandemic. This morning, more than 1,000 employees will be stationed in critical areas identified as high priority due to ICE activity. There'll be a visible presence as well to report ICE operations near campuses. And we also know the LAUSD providing emergency crisis teams to walk students and families or make home visits when needed. Despite the uncertainty this morning generated by the immigration raid, Superintendent Carvalho expects the very first day of school to be a fairly regular day with a lot of presence. And as we come back at her live, we know it'll be a special day. Nothing will take away from the joy that means this new school year. We're inside a school bus this morning, Chris and Megan. It smells great in here. It brings back lots of memories. And we know for many of these students, it starts with a lovely place like this one. Terrell Green, good morning, a bus driver.
Good morning.
Excited?
Yes, very excited.
We know many students can be nervous for first day of school. What do you do that's special for them to make a difference?
To make a difference, you just say good morning, always smile. It goes a long way.
Yeah. Do you often walk them to their
seats? Absolutely. We do walk them to their seats. We do assist them with their seatbelts. Any help they need, backpacks, we're always there.
I want to point out your lovely nails. So appropriate for the first day of school.
Yes.
Show them to me. Look at that.
Here we go. These are my back to school nails. It's always for our kids. We have a ruler. We have the map. We have a chalkboard, crayon, pencil. We have our notebook paper with our A+ for our superstars.
Love it. You see, that things like that make a difference, but a smile on a student's face. And that's what it's all about in first day of school.
Absolutely.
Terrell Green, you're making a difference. We love it. Fist pump, high five as well.
Absolutely.
Who's spreading joy this morning? Chris and Megan, we'll send it back to you.
We are in love with her
Yes.
nails. That's fantastic.
That was-
As you said, someone who loves their job.
Yes.
Love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Happening today, students are heading back to classrooms. However, many are afraid because of the recent ICE raid.
That is a concern. Gigi Graciette is live at Echo Park now with more on what is being done to lessen those fears. Good morning.
Good morning. Both LA Unified School District and a group of teachers say they're taking measures to protect students and their families from any possible immigration actions happening on campus. Take a look at the video earlier this week. Immigration agents were seen outside of Arleta High School taking a 15-year-old into police custody. LA Unified calls it a case of mistaken identity, says that student who didn't go to Arleta High is severely disabled and claims that DHS left bullets on the sidewalk. How that happened, unclear. DHS, though, shot back saying this was actually a targeted operation and the student they were targeting is actually a pledged gang member. Unclear, though, who is right on that debate. So the school district says they've distributed pamphlets to parents and students to help them understand their rights. But today, a small group of teachers will join up with a community group called Unión del Barrio, and they're launching what they call teacher patrols together with those teachers from UTLA. They say they've trained over 1,000 teachers to be able to, quote, defend their students from ICE raids for this upcoming school year. Exactly what defend means, though, unclear. We hope to learn more from Unión del Barrio and the 1,000 or so teachers that plan to launch these patrols later today. We are hearing, though, that LA Unified School District is not sanctioning this. They say they've done everything that can be done to guarantee safe passage to school for both students and their families. Reporting live, I'm Gigi Graciette. Back to you.
All right, we'll keep an eye on the situation there at that school and all the schools in the LAUSD back to school today. Lots of jitters, Maria, for so many different reasons, but at least the weather's cooperating this morning.
Now at noon, more federal immigration raids are being reported across the Southland, including one where masked agents targeted a Culver City car wash. Thanks for joining us for the KTLA 5 News at noon. I'm Glenn Walker.
And I'm Lou Parker. The owner of that car wash says several employees were detained in the raid.
KTLA 5's Corrine Winter live now in Culver City with the latest developments. Corrine?
Yeah, on Tuesday, dozens of agents surrounded this car wash behind me. We're told at least 8 people were detained. Here's what this resident observed.
I seen a caravan, like more than 10 cars, and that they split up, so they could corner the car wash, the business, so no one could get out.
Hey, look at me! Get away! Get away! Let me talk to him. Okay. He's my brother. Okay. Hey, how can you sleep out? He's got the staple. Okay. We got the application ready. Why are you looking like this? Why
are you taking him? How can you do this?
Why do it like this?
And you're seeing video there of the incident. This federal raid occurred at the Handy J car wash in Culver City. One of those individuals detained, Francisco Lucatero, according to his family. Yesterday's operation scared other workers, some of whom stayed home today. They're afraid agents may return here to conduct even more raids. Lucatero's family tells us he was shaken up by yesterday's incident.
8 total employees. One of them was my uncle, the other my godfather, who is a permanent resident. And they still took him without asking for his identification or anything. As far as we know, one of them called us and said they were held in downtown, but he's the only one that's been able to communicate. As far as anybody else, we haven't had any communication.
And we also obtained this new video today from one of the workers of yesterday's raid, agents taking individuals into unmarked vehicles. Here's more from that employee who wanted to remain anonymous.
The couple ladies sitting crank, seeing all this situation. The other customer tried to, help the guy, whoever down, and they tried to, push him back.
Now, some family members returned to the car wash this morning looking for loved ones and also fearful that they had been detained since they've been unable to reach them. One family, however, was relieved to see one of their relatives had not been among those detained. This business is still operating today, although with a smaller number of workers. We spoke with customers shocked over the incident.
I'm here to support this business and all the hard workers that have been here forever. These aren't criminals. These are people that are just trying to survive every day, working, supporting their families. They contribute to society. And it's just I have no words for what's going on. It's scary.
Now, there's also another incident involving an LA high school student, 18 years old, who is also in federal custody. DHS confirming that information to KTLA. His name is Benjamin Marcelo Guerrero Cruz, and he was reportedly walking his dog on August 8th, days before his 18th birthday and right before the start of his senior year at Reseda High School. And that's when agents took him into custody. His family writing in a GoFundMe post that right now he's extremely scared. He is only water since he's been detained and has not had proper access to a bathroom. DHS telling KTLA Benjamin, an illegal alien from Chile, overstayed his visa by more than 2 years, abusing the visa waiver program, which requires him to depart the U.S. on March 15, 2023. He will remain in ICE custody pending removal. Again, that statement coming from the Department of Homeland Security. That's the very latest here in Culver City. Corinne Winter, KTLA 5 News.